everyone. Join me if you want to have a chat on understanding the higher self. So getting straight into it, let's crack right on into it. The higher self is like the portal of our highest potential, our gateway through our highest potential to more of our soul and soul's connection, living out this sacred path on earth. So this lifetime, our soul's sacred path this lifetime. We can have the best connection possible through reaching for and not holding ourselves back from guidance of our higher self. So it's what you would think of when you think of but it's not a thinking, by the way, so it's not something that your mind's life can conjure up. It's giving over what you think you may know and asking your highest version, your gateway to heaven. So like heavenly sources, heavenly resources, you are from heaven. So asking your higher self to help you get out of the way with your patterns in the human subconscious repeat that we identify as being ourselves, or the way we usually do something, or how we will go about something, and giving over that. So when you hear people speak about resignation to divine will over human will, because our human wills can get very caught up in these identities that we've developed subconscious patterns with our whole lives, any time periods, and rely more on that as though it's strong and it knows and these kind of things. But we're not just humans, like we are spirit. So if you're densifying human behaviors with this human will that you're building up to be stronger and stronger, don't forget to include the highest path, because that's where heaven assists you. And your soul is heavenly. Your human vessel container of your soul is directly connected. It's all one, heavenly. So you got to reach for your highest potential in not aggravating through human concept of potential. You got to reach for your highest potential, meaning sometimes you might have to do something that you're guided to do that feels easier. It can be easier. And you're like, it can't be that easy. So you're humans arguing with something that could be easy, right? But if it's easy and it's light filled, it's because you've earned the understanding that you can be guided by spirit, and trust yourself to follow through and see what you and heaven can do together, right? If you do it and it seems somewhat like you feel like you failed or something, then you'll be proven that, it wasn't the way. So we don't want to go into that part of it, because heaven does help, and it is a simplified version normally. They'll just give you, But sometimes it can be that you have to face things of the human because a simpler version wants to come through. So that's where you can battle with the higher self yet again. These may not be the most clearest of examples, but I'm just touching on something that will get broken through in understanding as, you know, it evolves in discussion. But I think I hit it there with saying that you are a heavenly version of soul on earth in this form at this time. So you can't ignore that heaven will help, and it will be of a higher resonance, right? So this is when you're not completely taken over by egoic ways. If you are reaching for higher help, you will be helped, and it may not necessarily, and a lot of the time, because life is about opening to the new, it won't be the same patterns of the subconscious that we can cling to unconsciously and consciously, as though we think we're doing the right thing by doing the same thing because it may have worked before. But evolution will ask you to open up to more, so this is where the interplay is. But, you know, it's my main point in this video is that we do block off doing different things because it feels different, essentially. And we kind of run for cover in what we've learnt so far. But we have to face the facts that becoming whole is with our soul. So that is going to be new, better, different, more whole feeling. Because we're embracing the wholeness of ourselves. Instead of having a sometimes unseen struggle with doing something we feel we want and having to live a life that's all set up in motion, but your higher self is calling you, now's the time for this, for this, for this. And so if it's a point in our lives that we have to meet at, it's going to completely inhabit you. And the higher self is amazing because we have free will. We're part of a no limits communication. So although we come here with sacred paths, and you can learn more about parts of that, like contractual parts of that, because we have free will and it's an unlimited universe, there really is no bounds with expanding into so much more than just what's planned. Yeah, so there truly is no limits all round. Okay, so I got 2 decks of cards that when I thought about having this chat, these 2 stood out. Sonia Choquette, Soul Oracle, and Colette Baron Reid, The Good Tarot. And it's been a full moon, so I always love how I'm reminded of it when I'm guided to choose that deck. Like, I just realised now. I think it came around last full moon as well. I remember showing that. So just a couple of oracle cards to enlighten us a bit more on guidance. And on Sonia's deck, we've got reevaluate your priorities. Okay, so it looks like, you know, we face things to reevaluate them from a higher perspective. Card number 52. And I'm going to shuffle the other one now as well. Guided not to wait, just to get both out. Three of water. And this sea creature is offering a pearl in three of water. So some guidance there being offered. The 3 number when a journey is taking shape. That will open up soon. So 52. For reevaluate your priorities. So this is very relevant, isn't it? Looking at how we operate and how the higher self, the soul, can come through because you're resonating higher by asking for guidance with your higher self and actually letting it drop in via your human choice of embodying it. Like, yes, guide me, I'm listening, you know. My soul is a higher version of myself and it knows best for this lifetime, so I allow, I make space and make my consciousness available to new, better and different ways. So reevaluate your priorities seems extremely relevant. Are you engaging with people and plans that don't feel right and ignoring your instincts because of the lure of promised rewards? Are you involved with people, ideas, or situations that compromise your integrity? Are you shutting your eyes to blatant ethical lapses of your own or others, or disregarding the red flags of warning along the way? If so, you're inviting trouble, and rest assured it will show up. Your soul's purpose right now is to reevaluate your priorities and stay true to your higher self. Your soul's maturity and ethics are being tested by the universe. And unless you rethink your values, you may not pass the test. Your soul's lesson: temper your enthusiasm for your superficial desires and put aside all thoughts of personal comfort and gain for the time being. Nothing is worth pursuing if it compromises your integrity. Although you've been given the gift of free will, you can't escape the consequences of your choices. In other words, what goes around comes around. And no matter how clever you feel you are, there's no bypassing this fundamental law of the universe. You'll only invite chaos, even disaster, if you try. You know when you're headed down the wrong path, so turn around before it's too late. So that's what we can do, and call in on our higher self and actually, with resignation to pushing on a path that is not, and we know it, good for all involved, then we're working with the universe. Then we're letting heaven help our soul's path, and life becomes fulfilling and more content. So yes, beautiful card. Sonia's Oracle always explains things so well. She has many decks, so I recommend checking her out for all her courses as well. So 3 of water with the Good Tarot deck. he's got two pearls in this picture. Oh, this is a cycle. This is balance, flow. Actually there's 3 pearls in this picture. This is interesting. I need to read it. 3 of water. Celebration, enjoying community, sharing, exuberance, team spirit, common goal, friendship. Joy and excitement flow among all those gathered. I embrace being a part of something larger than myself. It's a time to delight in the camaraderie as I experience the greater whole that is my community or team. We buoy each other and play together as we co-create. So buoy, assist the higher flow of each other. Buoy each other and play together as we co-create. We are friends, family, and companions, sharing our experiences. It is a time to remember we must accept each other as we are, with both shadow and light within. It's definitely a time for progress from teamwork, ethics, and growing into accepting each other as we are. So that's very relevant for the time. And that is from working with our higher selves. So that's the progress you can expect from putting down all, egoic borders and boundaries and working more with heaven. Beautiful 3 pearl picture. But I'm also going to pull the top card that I got from that shuffle just to finish off this reading. Ace of Earth. That's because it spoke to me and I'd like to have a little bit more information. An Ace of Earth. Prosperity in its purest form, concrete results in the physical world, abundance made manifest. I recognize the many forms of abundance and plenty, and I align myself with success. I can generate gold from the resources I have at my fingertips. I make an impact. The essence of prosperity is taking form in the material world. I think that just emphasized more of that progress of working together, like as a light team on Earth. So reaching for more and more we're opening up and breaking new ground, new Earth, by saying, what is it we all want? And that's what we join with, instead of all the separation that we've been rising up through, that we will make manifest the kind of lives we want, because now is the time for us all to connect on what's more important, essentially, but most important. Don't you agree? What's most important seems to have been falling by the wayside by the illusion of power play, which essentially has been, like in the first card, focusing too much on superficial requirements. Yeah, so it's just gorgeous, this feeling that at more depth we have become working with the higher that we want. Makes this manifest. So it's like we break new earth on earth in ourselves, standing up for the higher results. And yeah, we're working with an abundant universe. All forms of abundance show up then. Gorgeous. God bless. What a lovely feeling. Read. Life itself. Standing up for the best. The best in us, which is the best in, like, for all of us, and truly making connection in that, and in those connections breaking down the borders and barriers of crap, vibrationally. But you know, that's progress. Something goes, something grows. Okay. Guides, I would like to put a card up here, but I know we aren't doing an animal card. So we are doing a mermaid card. And the mermaid cards come to me when we are in the flow of something. So this is kind of like going with the flow of the river, what we're in the flow towards now. Friendship. Just like that. Was it the last card or the one before? But all forms of, you know, standing up for each other's higher self. Let me show you that card. It's pretty. Actually, that's a gorgeous shell that reminds me of when Sonia, the author of this book, walked the Camino de Santiago. They have these shells along the route that you can follow, like, because the trails are so long and all different terrain and landscape, that they have these shells to guide the walkers. What do you call them when you go on that walk? Like pilgrims. I'm feeling, as I speak of this, I'm feeling the resonance of it even more. Because I've read Sonia's book on that. It's a really good book called Walking Home. Really good book. Once I finished reading it, I passed it on to someone else I thought could do with it. It's that kind of book that you want to touch, you know, people's lives, because that pilgrimage is when you really want to shed and get really, like, realigned with your heart and soul. And so yeah, I really enjoyed that, because Sonia, as a long time intuitive spiritual teacher and guide, has had to go through a lot as well. So it really brings home that we're always growing. Teachers are students, students are teachers of heaven, because we're all learning more of ourselves as we walk the path. Right, so friendship card. Karen K. Messages of the Mermaids. Love it. Phone a friend. Find someone on your own wavelength to spend time with. Being with like-minded friends is the tonic you need right now. Friendship is calling to you. these mermaids are urging you to pick up your phone right now and call a friend. You might just need some company to share a cup of tea or coffee, or a meal with, or better still, a walk along the beach in sight of mermaids. The message here is that quality company and true friendship would be good for you at this time. Do you have a friend whom you've been meaning to contact? An old school friend, perhaps? If yes, this card is a gentle nudge for you to reach out to them. Friendship can keep us going when times are tough, as well as when times are wonderful, sharing the good times and bad when we're happy or sad. Friendships can lift us out of dark places and are like precious jewels in the crown of life. Remember to check on that strong friend. Sometimes it's hardest for them to reveal their vulnerability because there are a lot of expectations placed upon them. So reach out now to see how they are. Are you being called to offer the hand of friendship to someone? Don't wait to be asked. It might be up to you to make the first move. Remember that strangers can be friends you haven't met yet. When you're in alignment with your destiny, notice the people who come onto your path. It's your vibration that attracts the type of friends you need at various stages of your life. So be receptive to meeting new people because beautiful friendships can be born from chance meetings. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, that's so gorgeous. There's just so much truth in it. You know, because that's essentially covers life in its unpredictability, being there for others, others being there for you. You know, where would we be without some honesty in being there for ourselves, for someone else, and letting them be there for us as well? That heart chakra consciousness of giving of yourself gives back to you. You know, so it can be hard to give of yourself and hard to receive, but you have to break through those barriers and live. Because it's important that we all give to each other. That is the light network, the strength of us, the fibers of us. You know, like really fueling those fibers, like really putting our whole beings, love, heart, and emphasis. That is our strongest root system, heaven to earth. To make those connections and nourish them, but also accept when some connections aren't that, and that other people need more growth with other people, and you need more growth with other people. So, you know, with every like dead part of a tree, there is always more growth. So there is always, you know, some dying off and some more strengthening of growth. I love that card. Mermaid, angels. And may we bless that upon each other and all. That we all feel guided by our higher selves to make those kind of moves where we know life is about getting vulnerable so that we can branch out our own tree in strength. Higher vibe strength. Higher vibe strengthening planet Earth. God bless everyone. One love. Bye for now.